When it comes to Adin Ross, right now with the streaming world's least favorite chair sniffer and generational grifter, Adin really went so far that all of hip-hop is stepping in and collectively doing the work to make sure that this vulture can never speak this loud on the genre again. And now with this, there is no longer anywhere to hide for Adin Ross because with the entire world of hip-hop staring him down, when you really start to see what's going on and what the grift is, you will see just how terrible this guy is for hip-hop and how he has been a part of a targeted effort to try and sabotage and ruin the name and reputation of Doechii. And now before we go any further into all of this, if you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe while you're at it so everyone can see why Adin Ross is one of the worst things that has ever happened to rap music and why his career is about to go up when all of this is exposed. And so now with that said, when it comes to Adin Ross and the controversy he is in, well, every single problem he just created and what is forever going to change his perception in all of hip-hop and not just on the side that already hated him, all comes from the moment that when asked to talk about Doechii on one of his awful streams, Adin went viral for crashing out and saying this.
I've been streaming for like a long time now. Doechii, the umbrella clip me off. What an entitled, unintelligent piece of shit he is, bro. She deserves, bro. I'm not joking, bro. Stop listening to her music. Cardi and Abel, why would you give her a feature on a remix? You shouldn't have cleared it. She's just the worst. She's a piece of shit. She stole someone like that I used to know. She makes no good music. She's horrible. Jake Future, what's up, my dog? Doechii, okay? She has zero talent.
And I mean, when you watch this crash out, with Adin's specific words, what an entitled, unintelligent piece of she is, and with him also saying she has zero talent literally being heard everywhere. Well, first off, I think Adin needs to look in the mirror because it really sounds like he is describing himself here when he is saying that somebody is entitled, unintelligent, and a piece of something. And while it's one thing to say that you don't like somebody as an artist or for whatever thing that they do professionally is, and really in Adin's case, even if it was harsh, he could have said that he didn't like her music because although it just would have ended up being another trash hip-hop take that he made, I mean, we are allowed to critique and criticize things, but obviously with what Adin said, it just goes beyond all that. Because when you hear the hatred and almost disgust that's in his voice when he is talking about Doechii, and even with how bad the words we hear him used were, it sounds like he wanted to say some other stuff too, which would even be more off-putting and would have definitely caused him to be canceled forever. Altogether, with how personal and below the belt these insults go, with the names that Adin is calling Doechii or any other person for that matter, he crosses a line and does it bad because this is not music criticism or any sort of critique of art or her as a rapper. And it's just something so beyond that, because really with what he said, you would think that Doechii would have done something horrible to him because regular people don't talk this bad about somebody without a purpose and without actually having any sort of real animosity between them. And with this, of course, everybody saw this clip as it went absolutely viral because aside from the weird group of grifter-loving individuals whose favorite people are Adin Ross, Drake, and that set of brothers that Adin sniffed one of their chairs actually, for the rest of everybody who's definitely checked into reality, everyone saw this clip and just wrote off Adin Ross more than they ever have because you can just see with this so clearly and really more than ever that somebody has never belonged further away from having the ability to speak about hip-hop because if you have any respect for rap music, you just wouldn't say that she has zero talent and you would never use that tone and words that Adin did right here. But really right now with all the outrage, while everybody is busy yelling at Adin and trying to just push him further and further away from hip-hop culture, what a lot of people are missing is that when you think about all of this and
But not only that, like when are we going to be done with Adin? Adin Ross, he's aligned himself with Charleston White. He's made disparaging comments about what's his name? Carmelo Anthony. When do we get away from Adin Ross? Look who he's aligned himself with. Drake, Charleston White. He disrespects black female artists. What's going on? What's really going on and why is he still around? Him and his group of young streaming very weird kids gotta relax because now it's getting a little disrespectful. All right, but speaking of disrespectful, I'm gonna need y'all to disrespect that like button. Let's get back into this.
Think about the tone and demeanor that Adin used here. If you think beyond the surface and remember who this guy really is, and specifically what I mean by that, who he literally was on the phone with the night before this happened on his stream. Well, really, just like all of these grifting streamers who are just the worst thing that we have in the content space today, no matter where you try to go, all roads lead back to one person who is the root of why they are the way they are, unfortunately, and why they have this disdain for actual hip-hop culture and artistry. And it's not just that Adin's a clown and that's that, but it's that beyond that clown that we all see, there is somebody who is making him run the entire circus, and that is none other than Drake. And as we know, Drake and Adin are good friends, and Drake wishes him happy birthdays publicly because he likes him so much, and Drake thinks that that's a normal and cool thing to do at this point where he's at. And of course, these two have done multiple streams together where we have seen them buddy-buddy, and they really do seem to talk pretty often because they're always appearing on one another's things. I mean, when you look at it like that, of course Adin is not gonna like somebody who was winning so much during the time where Drake said that rap was in a weird NBA season directly to him when they were on stream for the Drizmas event. And I mean, beyond just winning, when Drake was saying that rap was weird and it was ruined from Kendrick Lamar, and really that's still what they're saying, and that's still why they're doing this. Speaking of Kendrick Lamar, as Doechii is signed to none other than Top Dog Entertainment, which is of course where Kendrick and even SZA are from. From Adin Ross, academics to XQC to all of these other clowns who love these people who grift hip-hop culture and look up to Drake like he is Tupac. The disgust they have for Doechii is a direct result of that, and really if Doechii was not signed to the label that Kendrick Lamar is from and that is winning the entire music industry over right now with everything they are doing, and it's not stopping anytime soon clearly. I mean, if that wasn't the case, you wouldn't see all these pages and people who conveniently have ties to Drake and who have supported him no matter what and are really gonna go down with him if that has to happen. Go after this new artist who is becoming a star and who is winning and having a bigger rise than ever with the help of the label that also helped Kendrick, SZA, and her all get to the point where they are at this very moment. And with Adin Ross, this is what's so weird about this all, because really with these thoughts about Doechii, Drake and him must have had a lot of conversations behind the scenes, and Drake really must feel a way and be bothered about her. Because between both the talking points that Adin Ross is using to discredit her, which we could say have came from somebody like academics because that's all he does, and then with the animosity that we hear in his voice, which is so personal. I mean, overall, Adin is pushing all of the narratives that have tried to be used by Team Drake to go against Kendrick, and then of course try to trick these people who are not rap fans but Drake stans into believing that Kendrick Lamar is the worst thing ever that's happened to hip-hop and that Drake is the hero. And I mean, when it comes to this effort and campaign that has been designed by what I am gonna call Drake's Legion of Lame to try and make sure that Kendrick Lamar and his side of hip-hop does not gain any more wins and break out any more stars, this is where the entire narrative of Doechii being an industry plan came from, because first of all, in the entire music industry, not just has there been so many actual industry plans who have come out recently, who Drake has collabed with even and hyped up himself, and who Adin has even streamed or collabed with in some way on his own, and beyond just that, who nobody else ever said anything about because they never noticed or thought this because Academics TV was not yelling at them every day in their face about it. But with Doechii, if we actually want to look at her career, she had a platinum record in 2022 and was big then and already did a tour opening up for Doja Cat way before all of this stuff and when she was just a rising star with a few big records. And back then, before she was connected to Kendrick Lamar and this beef happened, nobody ever said a thing about her. But now, because she is signed to Top Dog Entertainment and we are in an era where anyone close to them and Kendrick will get hated on because this other side of hip-hop and people have nothing else to try and take down these artists with other than just ridiculous campaigns that are geared at the most random and obscure things they could possibly get at. I mean, with all of this, they have decided to try and label Doechii as an industry plant and ignore not just years and years of hard work, because even with her most recent hit, which Adin says he doesn't like, that song was made 5 years ago and just happened to blow up, so she put it out now. But even if we go back to 2024, if we look at what Doechii has done to get to this point, she has just put the work in to be on the verge of superstardom, because with her debut mixtape on TDE selling 11K first week, and now with it being one of the top 5 highest performing albums of this year, and it being one of the most streamed albums in rap period, and it has multiple massive songs that are still on the Billboard Hot 100 after all of this time. I mean, if you just look at where Doechii was at when her record dropped on TDE and where she is at now, she has only been able to make this record get Grammy-winning and high mainstream success with hard work that was done by delivering great performances, whether it was a Tiny Desk, a music festival like Camp Flog Gnaw, or something else, or it was just actually pushing and expanding the universe of what she built more and more by releasing great music videos to complete her art like we saw with Denial Is a River. And again, now while hip-hop has seen all of this hard work and it has led to Doechii getting cosigns from people like Tyler the Creator and Kendrick Lamar, who called her their favorite rappers and the hardest rapper out, and even beyond just them, legends like Lauryn Hill brought her out on stage, for these weirdos who don't like rap and just want to be these weird career-long grifters, chair sniffers, and whatever we even call Drake now, they won't acknowledge the actual work and story that has happened because they don't actually like reality and they only like making up their own narratives, and they're going to act like none of this ever happened because then it does not fit the narratives that they have been pushing to take this artist down simply because they don't like her because of her rise and who she stands in the way of, which is of course the guy that Adin makes the worst duo with in none other than Drake. Now with Adin doubling down on his comments about Doechii in another awful clip, I mean with him trying to call out this video of her with the umbrellas at the Met Gala and say that he is doing this because he respects 9-to-5 workers, this is what it really takes to be the grifter that Adin is, because he is just deflecting to try and get people to think that he is right here and that he is standing with them when in reality, while the Doechii clip with the umbrellas does not look the best, and I mean even everybody has already made fun of that, including Doechii herself. First off, the people who were helping Doechii were all from her team, and I am sure understand how to work with her, and with an event like this, judge somebody by just that would not be fair, especially when every other time we have seen Doechii, she has had the utmost professionalism and really seems like a great person. And even if this video was bad, Adin's reaction still does not match up with what happened in the first.
Yeah, like for one, I'll say it first. No, the umbrella clip wasn't nice, but she came out and kind of joked about it. It was her team. Shout out Doechii. She been working. And you know what, Doechii, I like her as an artist. As an artist, I see what she's doing. I see how her art and how she likes to paint. All the music, a lot of this stuff is for females. A lot of this stuff just doesn't match up with me. But that's okay because her as an artist, I can see what she's doing. And I respect the art of it. Somebody like this, who's just a hater, who's not even from the culture, who don't even who's a guest in the culture and shouldn't even really be speaking on young black females. We gotta get dudes like this up out of the culture. Like, why are you even speaking on her like this? And why do you feel like it's safe to disrespect her like that? Why would you call her a POS? Like, it's a lot of ways to get your opinion and to respect her while also respecting your platform. But you also got to remember that Drake has aligned himself with people like XQC, Adin Ross. He hasn't given one culturally accepted platform a look or interview since he got on. Before that, he was doing interviews with what's her name? Bobby Althoff. Like, what are we doing? And don't forget people like Adin Ross. He's aligned with people like Charleston White. What are we doing, y'all? Like, what are we really doing at this point? So, Drake, these are the people you're aligned with. This is your history. Can we just say birds of a feather flock together? And then you got Kendrick, who's aligned with Dolce. He's aligned with TDE. He's aligned with Rock Nation. They're a little sketchy right now after the Tory Lanez situation. I don't know. But he's aligned with a lot of great people. He's aligned with Interscope, Dr. Dre. He's aligned with the culture. So you got one person outside of the culture who, honestly, I feel like he doesn't really tap into his dad's side. He taps more into his mom's side, Drake. And then you got Kendrick, who came up from the bottom. He came up as a battle rapper. He came up, he made it. He was actually the flower that grew from the concrete. And we got to compare the two. And we got to deal with sideline guys like this. Nah, we ain't doing that. Get him up out of here. It's your boy, What's Up, G? Drop it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about Adin Ross. Should he be in the game or do we got to get him up out of here eventually? All right. It's your boy, What's Up. Oh, hold up. Disrespect that like button. I mean, like, super disrespect that joint. At least get like 100 views, 100 likes on this video. If ain't nobody told you they love y'all, I love y'all. I'm out, y'all.